Mommy, 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 me or him. Mommy seeker, mommy seeker. Oh, sis, you couldn't have come at a better time. Girl, I'm so glad you're here. Listen, you're not alone in this journey. Please be sure, hit that notification bell, follow, and subscribe. Am I strong because I'm beautiful? Or am I beautiful because I'm strong? These are things that I sometimes go back and forth with, but I think I'm beautiful and strong. I think the reason why I'm even present and trying to stay present and be aware of my feelings and emotions in this moment of my life as a believer, as a Christian, is because I've truly had some trauma in my life. And we're going to talk about it today. It's called fat trauma. Now, to me, as a big girl, fat is a curse word. I don't like the word fat. I don't like using it. And now definitely, now that my husband and I have a set of twin girls, I find that word very limited in vocabulary. That's why people use it. But let me give you a little bit of my personal backdrop and how I feel about the word fat. So I grew up a chunky girl, a big girl. And I was teased all the time about my weight. But I just grew up a very chunky little girl. And with the aesthetics of our home at the time, my mom, she fed us good. She fed us well. As a single mother, I give a hoorah to her. Not just because the food was good and always homemade and always fresh, but just because of the simple reason that she did it alone, without any help. God gave me the grace to be raised in a single parent home. So that leads a little bit further into the story of my fat trauma. For those of you that have been picked on, for those of you that have been ridiculed, and now we come with this body positivity, I'm not here to give you blues. I'm not here to put you down any further than probably what has been done already. What I'm here is to state the claim of my victimization role and how that plays in my fat trauma, okay? I call it fat trauma because I don't like the word fat. Okay. When I guess in the mid 2000s, I began to see how body positivity began to be a part of our new norm as a culture, as a society. And so a lot of things that were not in, for example, if you was red bone, if you were fair skinned or the light skinned, that they were in. But a lot of the chocolate girls were starting to be noticed around this time. So while I was still yet a baby growing, I'm still in high school, I think maybe a junior or a senior, a lot of these things start to play a role in how I view myself, not to withdraw from my actual trauma that I experienced from childhood. So let's get into that. All right, so let's get into the gory details of fat trauma in 3 ways that I've actually chosen to break down them. Abandonment is the first one. So I felt abandoned by my father in my childhood. I did not feel like he was present, even though, of course, I'm a child of a divorcee. I'm a child of a separation. I'm a child of physical abuse. And because a lot of the things went on in my home, I blame myself somewhat for the separation from my mother and father. Abandonment issues I struggle with really come from a lack of responsibility for my father, okay? Because of the fact that God gave me the grace to be raised in a single parent home, I felt abandoned because there were stories that I would hear how my father was supporting other families, how he was present for them. But I believe abandonment started the cycle of my fat trauma, and then we move over to a self-rejection where I did not like myself. Actually, in all actuality, I hated myself. There was a time when I was growing up. I used to be picked at not only at the color of my skin, but I used to be picked on about of how fat I was. And so that's when my mother, I could remember, she began to speak words of life over me, even though I felt just nasty and a bad habit. And so a mother's role is always important in a child's development. Okay, we're not done yet, y'all. Whew, here we go. We're on a treadmill now. Okay, so abandonment was the open door to invite self-rejection in, I believe, for my life personally. And as we get to the end, which are the weak disciplines that was put into place, like bad eating habits, not exercising, praying about things that I can do to change, maybe emotionally, maybe mentally, for my wellness. There are a lot of things I was just passive about and some things naive about, but in this moment of my life, change is necessary and change is good. Thanks for watching and being here.